from the KATC Weatherland, here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, it looks like finally our streak of 100-degree-plus days will come to an end. 17 as of today. Tomorrow we may take a break from that. We've had a total of 19 100-degree days so far this summer, and we have another 7 to 10 more before things change. But they will eventually change. Just be patient. So let's take a look at the big picture as we get over to the key wall and show you what's going on. That upper level pattern. Boy, you can see that drier air being piled driven to the south. High pressure has moved back to the west, opening up the door for this trough to come in. And a little bit of a frontal boundary, a rarity this time of year, but we'll take what we can get. Now, don't expect sweater weather. Don't expect anything below sweating weather quite yet, but it will feel better tomorrow and going into tomorrow night, even tomorrow morning as well. Now, for a change, we do have action on the regional Doppler radars, and look at the intense storms from Mobile Bay all the way back through southern Mississippi and into eastern Louisiana, crossing Lake Pontchartrain now. So NOLA's going to get a good soaking and in a short while as well, but not expecting any flooding. These storms are moving quickly, but with all the high heat, gusty, possibly damaging winds in any of these storms. And we had a couple of strong ones in St. Mary Parish earlier, in northwestern St. Mary Parish between Franklin and Sherrington. Now that's quieting down, and we see a few storms, Sycamore Point, then down toward Terrebonne, Chaffalaya Bay, and then also clearing south of Intracoastal City now, moving towards Southwest Pass. So at least some thunderstorms, but most of these now are in the marsh, which already has some water. Boy, we could use that rain farther inland. And again, the rain really letting up after a big soaking in this area. So some folks, northwestern St. Mary Parish, you were the winners for the day, and you can see how the storms kind of blown up, and they're more intense as you get farther to the north and east. Even some storms out in the Gulf of Mexico, which we haven't seen much of this year with all that high pressure, but now that high pressure's moved back, that upper high's moved back to the west, is permitting for some thunderstorm activity across the Gulf of Mexico. Got a hurricane out here in the Pacific, another burgeoning system. This one's going to be heading maybe toward San Diego down the line, so that's going to be interesting to watch. And meanwhile, in the Atlantic Basin, things are starting to perk up a little bit. We're starting to see tropical waves, but nothing that we're too concerned with. This one has a 30% chance of development over the next 7 days. This one wave here, this one little bit of a circulation right here, just a 10% chance of development. But what we do see is tropical moisture beginning to pool in our side of the western hemisphere as we get into this weekend. Moisture will be heading toward the Bahamas and down into the Caribbean. Notice we have a hurricane here that's going to be moving northward toward Baja. But notice what we see in the Gulf of Mexico. Tropical wave now. The Euro is is more pessimistic on us seeing any rains. The GFS may be a little bit better, but it looks like the main impetus of this tropical wave will be heading toward Texas, along with some beneficial rains. I don't think we see a whole lot here, but we're hedging our bets, going 40% on the rain chances for Tuesday. Then it tones down, and look what happens. We're back in the dry, but notice we're starting to see more moisture. Another broad upper level trough that's going to be moving westward. So beyond the 10-day forecast, we do see a definitive change in the pattern, but we're going to have to be patient. In the near term, check this out. Tomorrow morning, mid to upper 60s, northern portions of Acadiana. Now, it's always interesting to see if when the models try to cool us down, the ground is so warm. I don't know if we can get this low, but boy, it feels good and looks good on the TV, doesn't it? Temperatures low to mid 70s, I-10 corridor, Lafayette 74 degrees. That'll be the coolest in more than 2 weeks, and low to mid 70s along the coast. And then this is the big news for tomorrow. Mid to upper 90s across most of Acadiana. Lafayette 98, perhaps 99 degrees, but we think we'll miss 100 for tomorrow in just about all spots across Acadiana, even though it could be close. And with a north-northeast wind tomorrow, we could bust on that, but we're going to be optimistic and say below 100 degrees for a change. So 74 tonight, mid to upper 60s, northern parishes, so certainly feeling better. And you'll notice it first thing tomorrow morning for sure. And then tomorrow, the nicest day in weeks. Even though though we're getting up to 98 degrees for a high, it's all relative, and our bar is set so low, but we'll finally take it and run, and certainly more comfortable humidity as well. Now, as we move into the 10-day forecast, here we go. Back to 102 on Thursday, 103 on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, challenging the all-time August record of 104 degrees, and we might hit 105 on Sunday. There's that tropical wave coming in, but notice the temperatures don't cool off a whole lot. This 40% might be overly optimistic, and we got more hundreds to go as we go out through the rest of next week, but perhaps a change beyond the 10-day forecast. That's it for weather for now. We'll have more later in the show.